Paul Chek workouts, why your certificates are not valid apart from in their own private organisation. Now, the Paul Chek workouts, like the 4 doctors and the primal movement patterns, are really overcomplicated for many people, in my opinion. I still use them as a mini assessment, as in the primal movement patterns, to find out exactly what the client can and can't do. But because nothing is regulated by the different fitness organisations, because they won't pay any money to them, in which for it to become regulated. Then the other thing you've got to remember is that Paul has no degree, no masters, nothing like that. So it really devalues the system that you're going to buy into if you decide to study with Paul or the program in which for your workouts to become much better. But there's some fundamental things I've not seen Paul do. I've not really seen him do many Olympic lifts like elite athletes do. And if you look in the program, there's not many Olympic athlete workouts in program design, advanced program design. So it means that if you want to work with Olympic athletes, it's really a no-no for the advanced program design, in my opinion. If you're working with injured people, then it will be okay that you will learn from it. But obviously with the Swiss ball only being good for 4 to 8 weeks, and then there's a huge drop-off of you really getting any real performance with the Swiss ball, that's why it's not really 100% the thing that you keep using onwards. You have to isolate, then integrate. So you isolate with the Swiss ball, then you integrate with your Olympic lifts and other lifts that your client needs, whether they're a boxer, a tennis player, a rugby player, or a footballer. And they definitely, none of them need Pilates. Pilates is completely crap for any sports performance. This is proven in Paul's manual level 4 that I've got here, where he categorically states that it's on such the lower level, it's like right at the bottom, you would never use it. And I would never use it. I had a tennis player come to me, had lower back pain for 10 years, was really wanting to get out of back pain. I said, okay, what have you been doing? Oh, I've been doing Pilates for 10 years. Well, wouldn't that tell you it's not been working? Okay, let's get you the balance on the Swiss ball. If your balance is amazing from Pilates, couldn't even get on it. Absolute joke. So what you got to remember as well is that working out with the Chek system is okay for the base conditioning. So when you very first start seeing a client, you're learning about their body and how their body interacts with what you're doing. And then you do your 150 assessments in 4 hours. Then once you've done these assessments, then you can design their program. But always remembering that if you've got an Olympic athlete or somebody that really wants to keep stronger, you can't take their program right back. If you take their program right back, they will lose their strength and conditioning and they'll sack you. So you have to remember that. So if you've got a guy that's deadlifting 180 kilos and you take him back to 20 kilos to get his form right, it might take him 6 months to get back there. He's going to hate you. So you've got to mess around with reps, sets, loads and tempos to make sure that they can still do what they have been doing before, or know exactly how to build them back up again. And many trainers do not know how to do this because they're not deadlifting 180 kilos themselves. The same as I have the analogy, some guys will go and train with a woman trainer because they fancy her. They're not doing it for strength and conditioning. Does that make sense? So myself, if I went to train with a woman, she would have to be very strong and in super shape, because then I know she's walking her talk. Does that make sense? But if I went to a Pilates woman, it would be a complete waste of fucking time, because most of them are either dancers or airy-fairy yoga people that really don't know how to do hardcore training. And that's what you have to remember as well. So if you want to get big arms, I've got 18-inch arms. You go to somebody that's got 18-inch arms. Does that make sense? Or somebody that, let's say you smashed your neck up in a car crash or whatever, you go to somebody that's had the experience of working with people that have smashed their neck in. Does that make sense? And the thing with the workout check certificates is that you'll get a certificate at the end of every course, like scientific course, scientific back, program design, equal but not the same, which is all about female training. But isn't it weird, there's only one manual on female training. They brought out another one, but doesn't it need to be more in depth for women than what it does for men? Like Paul says, women are like Ferraris and men are like dumper trucks. So if women are like Ferraris, they need more of an in-depth type program and more manuals on how their hormonal system works, say, or when a woman is going through premenopausal state. But they don't really cover that in the manual. It covers testosterone, that men have 10 times more testosterone than women. So for women to gain muscle is really, really difficult. And if you speak to somebody like myself or somebody else, gaining muscle, I was a hard gainer when I was growing up. Like from 19 onwards, I was about 10 stone. And I wanted to get bigger and bigger, but it was really, really difficult through being a hard gainer. And it doesn't really cover that in the manuals. The same as the program design in advanced program design is really shit. It doesn't even cover German volume training, which is Charles Parlequin's work, who passed away. But that can be fundamental for dropping fat mega quickly and gaining some real big muscle very, very quickly as well. So I found that since I've read 1,000 books and done other courses apart from Paul's courses, and I've completed all of them apart from the Chek quadrant, is that there's lots of flaws. Do you know what I mean? If you're working with a guy, if I'm working with a bodybuilding guy and he's in pain, I know exactly what to do. If I'm working with a golf guy, I know exactly what to do to improve their golf game by 500%, no problem at all. But if I was working with a Pilates person that's just coming to me, I would taper it down and slowly build it up, depending on their goals. Does that make sense? So because the workout program certificates, you get a certificate with each course that you do, but it's zero value. You can't go into a gym and go, right, I've just studied equal but not the same, I just want to specialise with females. They'll go, fuck off. You need to get a personal training qualification. Then once you've got that, then you can do the Chek program, because then you'll be able to work in a gym. Now, if you think you're going to be clever and do what Gavin Jenkins says, open up your own facility, well, get ready for a punch in the face when it costs you huge amounts of money to set the thing up, and then all the business rates and all the other things and VAT that you've got to pay to the government before you even pay yourself a salary and before you even pay for your equipment and the place that you're renting. It's a complete no-no now, because the cost is so high, and the amount of people that want personal training or a Chek practitioner. For personal training, is searched 45,000 times per month. Chek practitioner is searched for 24 times a month. IMS practitioner searched for 0 times a month, because no fucker knows what it is. Even though it's all on the Chek website, which they bought this new name in because they wasn't selling programs anymore. So they thought they call it integrated movement science, specialist, sorry, not science, just to up the name, when Chek practitioner has not been successful since 1995. So do you want to pay £11,595 for worthless bits of paper, when each manual is about £250? You could buy 19 books at £15 each, when most books are £12.99 or whatever, You could buy 19 books written by a physio or a top strength and conditioning coach and get ultimate knowledge. Now, I know a friend of mine that's been doing this for the last 8 years. He's now becoming one of the top strength and conditioning coaches in the UK, because that's the advice I gave him. And it's worked. Of course it's going to work. As long as you practice what you learn in the book on yourself or on your clients, then you'll get the results. Like Paul says, if you don't believe what he says, test it, try it out. This is what I'm saying about if you buy the 19 books on core training, like Stuart McGill's and other books, and you try it out on 4 clients and then find what works and document it, then you'll go, wow, fucking hell, Scott's right. I've saved £250 on a manual that when I get the bit of paper is not recognised by no cunt. So what is the point in doing that? It just doesn't make logical sense. Now, I was sold the dream, and the dream was, once you've got this bit of paper, you'll be able to get athletes, you'll be able to get all these high-profile people. But I was getting high-profile people before I even studied Chek. And then I realised that it's just the dream that they're selling. It's not a reality at all. And other faculty members have worked with David Hay, messed him up, worked with Jade Johnson, the triple jumper, messed her up, or she disappeared for whatever reason. It might not have been their fault. But it's really important, because it's so complex and so in depth. You really need to get a client to sign up for 1 year. And 99% of clients want to be with you for 3 months. They want to learn a little bit, get out of pain, then do it on their own. They don't want to commit to a year. And this is me with my 27 years of experience in the PT world. But you may get lucky like me, where I've had clients for over 6 years and one client's been with me for over 25. And that's because I keep updating my knowledge and keep improving, so I can keep educating my clients to new and different stuff. Now, and what you've got to remember is that a lot of the stuff in the Chek manuals is repeated stuff from 50 years ago, or maybe older than that. So the Tai Chi exercises are mega old, as in you could buy a Tai Chi book and learn it yourself. So you don't necessarily have to study the whole Chek program, because what you'll find is, and there's a massive drop off anyway, is that you'll find it's really hard to sell to people, unless you're walking your talk like me and you're built like a big a bulldog chewing a wasp. It's easy for me to sell it, because when I'm doing my deadlifter 180, clients want to know, how am I doing that weight? Or if I'm doing my farmer's walks with 100 kilos, walking around the gym, they want to know, how can I lift that amount of weight at 55 years old? Or why am I still in good shape at 55 years old? Does that make sense? So what you have to remember, the other reason why it will never be a degree or never be recognised by most of the organisations is that a lot of the manuals are that thick. So put all the manuals on top of each other, there's that much stuff that they have to go through. And the C.H.E.K Academy or Paul Chek don't want to pay the system to read through all that stuff and to critique it, to say, yeah, that's right, that's wrong, that's right, that's wrong, that's not scientifically proven. Does that make sense? Then the other thing I think that has completely fucked it all up is Paul, promoting tobacco even in the level 4 manual, and then I've done 100 psychedelic trips, or I've done 1,000 psychedelic journeys or trips. 1,000, not 100, right? So if you've done 1,000 and you've publicised that, what is the doctor, the physio and the osteopath thinking if they've got a licence where they have to stay so clean it's unbelievable? If they get found out for taking drugs or being associated with drugs, they could lose their licenses. Does that make sense? It's all right, medical drugs is fine because they're licensed to do that. But when it comes to recreational drugs like cannabis, cocaine, smoking and all that, it devalues them. So they would never put their name to it. And that's why all the manuals, every single manual, and Paul's book, there's no doctor's name, physio or osteopath or chiropractor recommending their courses, because they know it goes against them and will cause a big legal issue for them and their career. Does that make sense? And the same with me. Like I said in other videos, I've had 4 clients come to me, and in the first 10 or 15 minutes of the consultation, oh, you're a Chek practitioner? Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff, but he's smoking drugs in the videos. Do you do that, Scott? Of course I don't. That's something that I would never do. Then I explain my story about my life, blah, blah, blah. But this is how he's devalued and killed his own program, in my opinion. Then if you look at the YouTube channel, the Chek Institute YouTube channel, Gavin's YouTube channel, which is part of Gavin's anyway, and then Paul Chek, they're all dropping the views dramatically. Because one, it's highly boring to talk about anatomy, physiology and all that bollocks. And 2, they're old men now. I'm 55, I'm getting older. I know that I'm going to be a pensionist in maybe 10 years or 5 years time, but I'm proud of that I've made it that far, or this far. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't bother me if somebody says, oh, Scott, you're a pensioner now. Of course I am. Do you want a right hand an hour or later? That's just me joking. But it's really important to understand, if you're going to pay £11,595, if you're in a gym and you're established and you've got savings and you're okay financially, then do it. Great, fantastic. You're going to learn some excellent stuff. But if you're working class like myself and you're in the gym, you're walking the floor, you're trying to get clients every week or every day, think about it. Don't think that you're going to be working with athletes. Don't believe in the dream, because it's total fake dream. The dream is put out there so you fuel Paul's dream at 64 years old age pensioner that wants to have more than estimated £32 million in the bank. Now you'd think, if you're 64 and you're saying that you're stressed and tired all the time, and then you're putting junk out there going, oh, I'm full of energy and I'm feeling fantastic, and then you're saying totally the opposites to your students, oh, I'm really tired, oh, I can't fly anymore, I can't fly to the UK because I tricked everyone into buying Chek Quadrant 1 and 2, and many people never ever got 2, so they got ripped off for money, so the Chek name is in the mud anyway. So that's what you have to remember, that if you're doing the Chek qualification to make money from it, it's going to be very, very difficult. 1, in this economy, and 2, it's only searched for 12 times a month. So if it's only searched for 12 times a month, one of my clients owns 500 buildings in London. 500s. So he's a multi-millionaire. And he said to me, for him to sell one building or to get one good lead takes 10 inquiries. So if there's 10 inquiries for Chek, or 12 inquiries for Chek practitioner per month, that means not even 1% is getting a client from it. Does that make sense? Whereas personal trainer, like I market personal trainer on my website as well, because that's what people know. They know what a personal trainer is. They know what a physio is. They know what an osteopath is. They do not know what an IMS 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 is. And they certainly still don't know what a Chek practitioner is in 2026, considering the name has been going since 1995. So why would you change it? Was it an ego issue, or was it that sales were going through the toilet because of the Chek practitioner name? Does that make sense? So really have a good think. Are you working with Olympic athletes? Are you working with Joe Public? Are you working with people with pain all the time and you're turning into sort of like a physio? Now, if you go to physio school, That's 3 years, and I think it's about 40k. But the great thing about that, there's too many physios everywhere now, like PTs. It's the same. The great thing about the physio school is that you'll get a qualification that's recognised by doctors, hospitals, physios, osteopaths and chiropractors for 40k, what I spent with the Institute. But I decided to go the other route because I was like, oh, it's not so academic like going to university. But since learning now, if I was to go to university with dyslexia, I would have a private teacher, I would have a new laptop. They help you so much if you've got a disability like dyslexia. So remember that as well. If you've got a disability, the Chek Institute, there's zero help really. No help at all. And remember, the faculty members in Great Britain have got no official teaching qualification. They may have an osteopathic qualification or their Chek level 5s or 4s, but they've not been to teaching school, as in official teachers, to teach you. So that means there's going to be fundamental flaws in the teaching because they've not been taught at teaching school. They've not got a university degree to be a teacher. Does that make sense? But it doesn't mean it's bad. It can be, it depends on how much that practitioner or that faculty member really loves what they do. And are they walking their talk? Is Lee Brandon walking his talk? Definitely not. Is Matt Walden walking his talk? Definitely not. Is Gavin Jenkins walking his talk? Definitely not. Which makes me laugh. And the reason why I'm saying that is that they should all be muscle Marys like me. They should all have 18-inch guns. Because to get 18-inch guns and to gain serious muscle takes serious mental determination. Just to look like Joe Normal in the street doesn't take any determination or drive. Does that make sense? But to gain sheer size and muscle on the body takes sheer determination. Have you seen Lee Brandon? I see him doing the tornado ball, right? And everybody's clapping him doing the tornado ball because he's the teacher, stroking his ego for him. But if you can see him with the tornado ball, he's totally struggling with the speed of it because he doesn't have the strength. And this is what makes me laugh. Why would you set up an institute and have cowboy teachers that don't even look like they train? Now, with the Harlequin guys, the guys that are teaching for Harlequin or work for Up Fitness, if you see a guy or a girl with an Up Fitness t-shirt on walking around London, their body fat is at the right level, quite low, and they look the part in their shirts. You look at Chek faculty, they don't look the part in their shirts. They just look like Joe Normal people with mega egos because they've got this massive amount of knowledge that half of it they can't even use with people. Does that make sense? So really think about this qualification. Think about the £11,595 where you're going to be locked into for 3 years and there's no money back. Check on their website, it says no refund and no money back after 14 days, which is totally illegal because if you buy anything in the UK, if you buy anything in the UK, say you buy a laptop and it breaks down in 2 years, in 2000, I think it's 2015, they passed a new law that everything has to be fit for purpose. So if your laptop breaks down in 2 years, you can take it back and they have to either replace it or refund you your money. That is the law, Gavin Jenkins. You can't put on your website that if you open up a DVD or you download a PDF and you watch 10 minutes of it, you can't get your money back. That is totally illegal and against UK and American law. You need to change that very quickly, Gavin Jenkins. So remember that as well. If you sign up, you're locked in and you can't get out. Well, they think you can't get out, but if you know the law, you can. Does that make sense? So I think it's, what's it called? I'll have to look it up and do another video on it. But there's a certain law, 2015. If you buy anything, like I bought a shark hoover, right? I've had it 2 years and a little button broke on it, so I couldn't click it in to hoover with it. So I phoned the guy. I said, oh, the hoover's broken. You need to send me a button out. No, we don't. It's got a year's warranty. I said, no, it hasn't. It's got 5-year warranty on the box for one. And two, this 2015 law says that you need to either replace it or give them money back. They sent me half a hoover out, which was great. So it shows that if you mention the law, then businesses will act straight away. Does that make sense? If a client phones me and there's an issue, I give them the money back. But I won't give them the money back of the time that we've done the sessions and all that type of stuff, because I've got their signature. And in a court of law, if you've got them to sign something, there's nothing they can do. And you're running a business, so the judge will go, well, Mr. Bryant's running a business. You worked with him for 20 days. Then you wanted your money back, so he only owes you back the money that you lost after the 20 days. Does that make sense? So that's what you've got to remember, the little trickery on their website. Make sure you read the terms and conditions. And I think if you was to read the terms and conditions where it says, if you open up the DVD, we're not going to give you your money back. It's totally illegal. You've got to be able to open up the DVD to watch it. So I went down the local, right, I bought these green tea cup holders where you put the green tea inside and the glass bit is underneath, but it was plastic. I didn't realise till I got it home. Took it all the way back. The shop went, we can't give you a refund because you've opened it. I went, really? I went, you sure about that? And they went, yeah, we're 100% sure. I said, so what about the law in 2015 that everything has to be fit for purpose? What do you want instead, or do you want a money back? So remember this law, make sure you use it. If you're a Chek practitioner and you've signed up for something and you want to get out of it, state that law. And if they don't go with that, report them to trading standards. As you report them to trading standards, they'll get a massive kick up the arse and they'll definitely be giving you your money back because it's totally illegal. So remember, I think it's 5 or 6 years that you can use this law in which to take things back if you're not happy. It's your right. It's your legal right. And if a company is worth an estimated 36 million or 32 million pounds, why is it not easy just to give you your money back? And Paul said one time, this made me laugh, he said, if somebody's got the hump with you, they will tell their friends will tell their friends, friends will tell their friends. I've done over 190 videos. I've only released 130 so far. So everyone's telling their friend how they treated me, stabbed me in the back, blocked me on the website, and sent me 7 nasty emails. That's really nice, isn't it? From a loving, caring, spiritual institute. So I hope you've enjoyed this 28-minute video, and it's up to you whether you want to do the courses or not. If you've got money to throw in the air and not think about the £11,595 that could take you on a cruise, that could buy you a lovely car, or could pay a bit off on your mortgage, then go ahead. Thanks very much. Bye.